façon, ce genre de principe.
See next to us on the right on the northern tip of the island this pale gray octagon. This is an exhaust fan. In addition to the great bridges for which we are famous, we're also connected by tunnels. Over in the Hudson River, we're connected to New Jersey by the Lincoln and Holland tunnels. Further ahead of us in the East River is the Queens Midtown Tunnel. And right underneath us, right now, there is traffic going back and forth between downtown Brooklyn and downtown Manhattan in the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel. And this octagon on our right is the exhaust fan for the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel. This tunnel was commissioned by the master builder, Robert Moses, the most influential and the most controversial New Yorker of the 20th century. As the head of the Public Works Project, Robert Moses commissioned a lot of bridges, tunnels, expressways, etc. And in so doing, he did the traffic a lot of good. Also in so doing, he eradicated scores of beautiful, old, historic neighborhoods, and he uprooted and displaced thousands upon thousands of families. To this day, no one knows for sure whether they should consider Robert Moses a good man or a bad man. The debate over Robert Moses continues and rages on 30 years after his death. This year is the 30th anniversary of his death. Was he a good man? Was he a bad man? Was the good he did worth the harm he did? Because he did both a lot of good and a lot of harm. When considering the debate over Robert Moses, no matter where you may come down on the debate, there are two important things to remember. One, he never held elective office. He was appointed to every job he had. Two, in spite of the fact that he made his name, his fame, and his legacy building bridges, tunnels, and expressways, Robert Moses himself never in his life learned how to drive a car. Well, of course, here in New York, that's not such an odd thing. We have the most efficient public transportation system in the world. New York has a 4-track, 24-hour subway system. There are well-educated people who go entire lifetimes in this city without ever learning to drive. I've lived in New York since I was 18. I know how to drive. I have a license. I have never owned a car in my life, and I have never missed one. I take the subway every day. As I always say, who wants to drive in a city with this many bars? That's not where you thought I was going with that. As we go back by the heliport, you'll notice the heliport is getting busier. As we go back by the heliport, I am always very proud to point out this sandy tan building next to us here on the left. Has the skyscraper on the south half and the little slope on the north half. This is my favorite building in New York. And I am proud to point it out because this is one of the buildings my mother built. In the late 1960s, when it was very rare for women to have professions like construction engineer, she was one of the few and served as blueprint analyst for construction at 55 Water Street, here on our left. Next to it, this tiny little white building at the orange roof is the New York City Police Museum, formerly the First Police Precinct of New York, provoked to do its first major action by the 1920 bombing assassination attempt on the life of J. Pierpont Morgan Jr., the son of the famous banker and financier. To this day, no one knows for sure who planted the dynamite in the carriage that set off that fearful explosion, though I did have a passenger once who said, must have been the wife. It's possible. She had motive. Today, the Police Museum is where you can see Al Capone's Tommy Gunn or Willie Sutton's lockpicking set. They even have a jail cell where you can lock up your kids. Willie Sutton was asked once, "Why do you rob banks?" He answered, "Because that's where the money is." Speaking of where the money is, we are about to cross Wall Street. This black and white striped building on our left is on the south side of Wall Street, so as we pass it, we are next to Wall Street proper. Wall Street, when it was completed in the mid-17th century, was the northern border of town. Everything up ahead of us, everything to the north of Wall Street was yet to be. There was nothing there but marshland and forests and wilderness. In the immortal words of a great New Yorker, Bob Dylan, "The times, they are a-changing." Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are coming back to the South Street Seaport. You guys have been a fabulous crowd. You've been very with me, and it's been a real pleasure. So I want to offer you a quick pop quiz. I have a one-question pop quiz for you. What's my favorite building in New York? Oh, you're short, my friend. I actually named 5. Yeah, but you're on the right track. Okay, now think about this. What's your favorite building in New York? And while you're at it, what's your favorite New York bridge? What's your favorite New York park? What's your favorite subway station? Your favorite mural? Your favorite public fountain? New York is a city of favorites, a city of extremes and of superlatives. It is a place where you can come from anywhere, and you can come with nothing, and you can reinvent yourself and a little piece of the world around you. A lot of you are in New York for the first time. Some of you may be in New York for the last time. If you've learned about this city in the last hour, that's great, and if not, that's perfectly okay. I'm not a teacher. What matters to me is not so much whether you've learned about this city, but are you any more in love with it than you were before? Has my love for New York been contagious to you? If you are any closer to this town than you were before you came on board, then we have spent a good hour together. We're coming back into the South Street Seaport. I want to say thank you again for sailing the Zephyr. My name is Matthew. Once we hit the dock, we will open up the gates and give you the all clear to go ashore. As we hop off, we hold out what we lovingly refer to as the Blessing Barrel. Tips in the Blessing Barrel are shared among deckhands, tour guide, and captain. Never required, of course, but always appreciated and taken as a compliment. It has been a great pleasure sharing with you my favorite city in the world, the city I have been proud to call home over these 20 years. I wish you all a very pleasant visit and a safe journey home. Muchas gracias. Obrigado, Dankeschön, molto grazie, merci beaucoup, arigato, shukran, spasiba, gaman, kamsamida, shia shia, thank you very much.
I heard him saying something.